All right, here we go. DJ Akademiks, welcome back.
Back in the building, man. You know, I got to pop up on Vlad every couple of weeks to let people know what's up. Hey, you know, on my platform, off the record, you are the most repeat guest I've had. We've had so many interesting topics. You know, we're both, I like to call it hip hop media moguls, and I love when you get on my platform. What's the record for your platform? Because I think I'm gonna get there soon.
Well, there's Boosie, who started a long time, before we even met. So it's going to be hard to beat that one.
Every time you go to New York, I'm here, man. So
You're right.
We'll catch up.
Hey, man, listen, I think what, this group of us, me, you, Adam, Charlemagne, Sean Cotton, like what we've built in terms of Math Hoffa, of supporting each other's platforms, all of us being cool in our own way. I show up here, they show up on my platform, I show up on theirs, and so forth. We talk, we share business advice. Yeah. If something drops in my lap that I think that you could financially benefit from, I'll hit you for it. Adam sent me stuff that I financially benefited from, and vice versa. We give each other, we all have different ages, so there's certain perspectives that I have, being in a little bit longer, that I share. And this is really like the blueprint of success. And everyone out there, all these platforms that are dissing me and trying to put me down, they're the ones who are losing, because
people are dissing you, Vlad?
All the time. We'll get to it.
Really?
I got a few shots I'm going to take.
No way.
We're going to wait until the end. I don't want to waste the early part of this interview on these bums.
All right, man. What's going on, man?
Well, look, I was just on the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Charlemagne and Envy.
You should be on camera with me.
You're
hot in the streets.
I've done a lot of press recently.
I've
done a lot of press.
I'm going to start off hot by saying, first and foremost, it's criminally, it's criminally, you're criminally underrated in the interviews you do, and also the fact that you haven't been acknowledged properly for the documentation of certain periods of time and certain stories. You are the guy who always gets the story right and in depth beyond a Hulu documentary, beyond a Netflix documentary, beyond the fluff of like a movie that ends up being in theaters. And watching your videos is what's really giving me, and I've went down many rabbit holes, like when the whole, Alpo and all that type of stuff and Paid in Full. I really figured everything out from your channel, right? Like this whole Biggie and Tupac thing, and me and you, we've been cool for a while. You've always said, I solved it. And the whole time I was like, man, I was like, you clearly, I thought that was you showing your age a little, Vlad. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, Vlad, I know you're like really interested in that time period still, but like, if they've never solved it, it ain't gonna be solved. You get what I mean? Like, there's 20 million theories when you Google it, but no one has really singularly pointed out like, no, this is the only thing that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And recently, I just had that moment where I just looked around and I was like, wait, this motherfucker Vlad actually had the story right. I thought it was DuckTales. No, I'm not kidding you. So,
yeah, I feel you.
This week I've been like binging on your videos trying to figure out every single thing that has been probably discussed many different times. Like, for example, like, was Big Meech there? Like these are like rabbit holes that I'm like going down now, which I think, you're probably seeing a spike in viewership and all that type of shit right now.
All those videos around the Keefe D Tupac story have all done really well. We've done flashbacks around it and everything else like that. But yeah, you're right. 4 years ago, I had the whole story. I put it together with all the different pieces from different angles, and it was all laid out. And I told people, like, the case is solved. You don't have to worry about, did Suge do it? Is Pac in Cuba somewhere? Is whatever? It's essentially solved. As you can see by what's happening in Las Vegas with the Keefe D arrest, it all pretty much matches up. Shout out to Greg Kading, who actually got the original confession, but we put the whole story together and we popularized it and had millions of people watch it.
I thought it was cap because there was no arrest. I'm like, ain't no way that a person is describing an actual murder of one of the most high-profile artists of our time.
The most high-profile artist of our time.
I
No,
agree.
really. Let's just keep it 100.
I agree. And he's describing being in a vehicle that was riding next to it or pulled up next to the car, and he's telling detail by detail. He's telling what before happened. Even, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a few people on like that you've interviewed, which obviously, again, you just know the story way better than me. And this is why you're like top tier, one of one in what you do. Like, I remember watching, like, back in the day, one of the Keefe interviews you did, and as soon as he said, oh yeah, I talked to Diddy, I just cut it off. I'm like, this thing is just saying bullshit. I didn't even think you really knew Diddy. This is how, like, I'm thinking, like, this is so detached and people just making up stuff. Then I'm like, with the Biggie thing, they're saying it's cops, they're saying it's this. Like, the whole Tupac thing, some people say it was Suge Knight, which didn't make sense to me, right? Because
Suge's in the car.
yeah, if I'm with you, right?
Right.
Like, if I'm the fat dude with the skinny guy.
Right. Would you put a skinny guy in the car and hire someone to shoot the skinny guy?
Yeah,
In the same car?
Hell nah.
I mean, Suge got hit. Suge got grazed.
Hey, these dudes are shooting sideways. The hell would you, like...
Right. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, why the
The
hell
whole
would I
car
even
was
wanna...
riddled up. I mean, I interviewed the first responder, Chris Carroll. He showed up. He said blood was gushing out of Suge's head.
One of the things that just everybody forgets is that Suge is shot in the side of the head. And like you said, he thought he was dead. And when I was looking at Suge, I couldn't believe that this guy was running around like nothing's happening while he's got this hole and the blood flying out of the side of his head, and he's just, like nothing's going on. But
Yeah.
I mean, does that make sense to you?
Hey, and again, that's what I'm saying. All those interviews, which, by the way, I think it's, you took an interest in. This is why, like, your channel's a 101. And by the way, there's a few other channels, I think, to be honest, I think they've taken the mold of Vlad TV.
Of course.
In terms of taking interest on certain really historic stories and going down those rabbit holes. And, like, for example, you're interviewing, like, dudes from the gang unit. You know what I mean? And, like, before I would be like, yo, who the hell are these dudes? They don't have a name. But now when the story really gets hot and erupts, I'm watching their interview. Why? I wanted to know what they thought at the time.
Yeah.
I wanted to know why they didn't make the arrest.
Right.
I want to know what's happening now. So,